Are here to try to help us. They want us to learn that if we become spiritual and if we join together as a group, we can stop this. We can stop the negative aliens. And also there's natural disasters that are coming to the planet that have come cyclical. And anybody who reads the paper or watches the news realizes that the volcanoes are erupting more, there's more earthquakes, there seems to be worse weather than there's ever been, and this is a cyclical problem. Even science agrees now that the pole shifts have happened before, and we're probably due for one now. And all this could happen, but if we became one spiritually, we could slow this down, we could almost make it as gentle as a sunset. Mm-hmm. But if we don't become spiritual and if we don't work together, it could be very, very tragic. So, and they're here to help us along our way to become more spiritual if we'd only listen to them.
So if some cataclysms were to happen, do you believe that we would be seeing some type of rapture, what people call rapture, occurring?
Well, it could happen. And the Greys could come in and have a false rapture and take people off. That's possible, and that's been suggested that that could happen. But the good aliens say, hey, we're not here, we can't interfere. It's up to you what you do with what's going to happen. We can't interfere. We have no right to come in and heal you. We can come in and work with doctors if you are very ill, mm-hmm. But it's not their decision whether you're going to survive or not, because that would be interfering with what is to come of you.
Do you believe that possibly the benevolent aliens would, what I would call airlift, or lift some people off of the planet during a cataclysm?
They might. Personally, I've been told that, hey, you people are here, you're spiritual people, you are here to work on this planet, and that's your job. They're not here to lift everybody off and go off to some other place in the universe, and they just won't do that. Although they do have a contingency plan if things get too bad. There are about 1,000 ships out there that can take people off the planet. But the problem is there, if you're not spiritual and you don't match the vibration of the ships, you're not going to survive. There is a planet that we could go to and survive until this planet is inhabitable again. But they don't want that to happen. That's not how it should be.
So they believe that we have come, and our responsibility to make a difference here.
Yes. There are millions of people here who have decided to come at this time to help the planet. And it's important that these people wake up and realize why they're here, and we can stop this and make this such a beautiful place and a gentle place and compassionate place, and as it was meant to be. And we weren't meant to kill each other, and we weren't meant to harm each other. That's not what we were meant to do.
No.
So
I don't believe that either. No. So is there anything else that you would like to tell us about them? No.
Well, I think that we have got to realize that just as we are so different on this planet, that there are different species out there.
I'm going to ask you a little bit now about the channeling. Can you let me know, how did your channeling first begin?
I had heard about channeling from quite a few people, and I thought, this is a bunch of garbage. It's people faking it.
So I went to a Chandler, and it was a young gal and her mother, and the person that came through said, you're going to channel. And I said, oh, no, I'm not. I don't believe in that stuff. And I said, well, somebody wants you to channel, and just try to keep an open mind about it. And about a month or so later, I started to realize I was seeing like a ticker tape going off in my forehead, and I could hear and see what people were saying, and I thought, I don't know who this is, but the messages don't seem to be too bad. Mm-hmm. You know, they're talking about peace and harmony and gentleness with people and that type of thing, and I thought, wow. And it generally happened when I was doing chores, scrubbing out the toilet and the bathtub and that type of thing. When I wasn't thinking about anything else, this would happen. And all of a sudden one day it just started. And then I decided that I guess maybe this should be all recorded, because I don't remember what's said. I leave my body. I literally leave, and I go generally to a nice warm place because I love the sandy beaches and that type of thing. So I usually go to a nice warm place and visit, or sometimes I just feel like I'm soaring in the heavens. I see stars and that type of thing. So it's I was surprised when it happened, but the first person that came through was the big blue bird, and we call him Eric, because that's a name that we can relate to. And he described himself and what he was like and what they ate and that type of thing. And this has been going on for years now, and everything is recorded, and then it's typed into the computer, so it's all on record, the dates and everything, because I wanted to make sure that whatever was said, I knew what was said, and that we would have a record of it, because sometimes we don't remember things exactly how they were said, and it's very important not to put words in their mouths. Mm-hmm. And also, when it first started, they had a hard time with our language, and they've gotten better over the years. As a matter of fact, one of the beings that channels through enjoys a joke every now and then, and when she gets it right, she says, oh goody, I got it right. Mm-hmm. So they do have a wonderful sense of humor. They like to joke, and they like us to do crazy things, just to have fun.
So they have learned our language.
Oh yes.
So that we can understand their messages.
Right. And even if I learned their language, I would probably interpret it wrong, because every time you try to repeat something that somebody else has said, you put a little bit of yourself into that, how they said it. So I think it's very important that we realize, you know, these are their words and we're not going to change them.
And every session that you have had has been recorded.
Yes, there were a few times when the equipment didn't work too well and we lost some of it, but yeah, everything that we could, we recorded.
And do they let you know or say who these messages are for, who they would like to have hear them?
Well, they like us to get the message out to the people. That's basically why the books were finally put out there, because we didn't know how to get the message out to the people. We try to speak to people and they don't listen. But in the book, they can take the book and they can read it at their own leisure, and if they don't understand something, they can go back to it and reread it.
So, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're telling me that they would like, these messages are basically for the world
to hear. Definitely.